session already. I mean, you've said everything.
Oh, your network.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you, say.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. No, I was saying that we don't have to go any further, my man. You've said everything in your introduction, so it's well said. You've put it together. But I'm well. I'm conquering.
No,
I'm on track. Oh, brother, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much, sir, to responding to our call and believing in our vision as Mind Think Institute team in setting up the whole summit. With respecting to time to everyone, just our apology as we're struggling to log in, but however, there's always time for everything. Mr. Molimi, I'm not gonna waste your time, sir. I'm going to give you to your people to pass that to them tonight.
Yeah, are we gonna do this through a question and answer, or what would you like me to do? How are we gonna do it?
I'm gonna allow you to do your unstructured presentation and speak to them, and then once you're done, that's where we'll take their question.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, first and foremost, thank you to your institute for this opportunity. You know, it's a privilege to be able to share. When we all share, we add to a body of knowledge that already exists, and that body of knowledge can only grow through sharing different experiences, being open to learning. So to everyone who's just tuned in, this is an investment. You are sowing a seed. You are sowing a seed which will soon become a harvest. So sessions like this do not take for granted. I think many people want to become millionaires. And this is what I've learned. I'll first make this very clear that what I'm going to share with you tonight is not the only answer. I'm just going to share with you experiences. I'm going to share with you what has worked for me. I'm going to share with you what I've learned from my millionaire friends. And I do hope that what I share tonight will challenge some of you. I do hope what I'm going to share tonight will shift thinking. It will shift perspective. And I do hope that we're just going to have fun and we're going to learn. So Tapelo reached out to me and he wanted me to speak about money, that millionaire mindset. COVID-19, man, businesses are affected. Businesses are in a crisis. And there are businesses that are looking now and saying, had we managed cash flow better, we would have been in a better position. Individually, we're in a crisis. You're looking at yourself, you're in a crisis. You may be retrenched. It may be that you're running a business yourself, but personally, you're in a crisis. And I know many of us are saying, had we managed our cash flow more efficiently and been better with our money, we wouldn't be as stressed as we are now. And so what we need to do first and foremost, I think, is we need to stop and we need to reflect on money, and be honest. You know, there's a quote that says, you cannot conquer what you don't confront. And you mentioned this in the beginning, that many of us are scared to confront money, our financial story. I'll just quickly share with you this new financial perspective that I have developed for myself, that's working for me. And thirdly, I'll share with you my millionaire friends' secrets. So I have friends who are millionaires, multi-millionaires in cash, in assets, and I'm blessed to spend time with them, and I ask them questions which unlocks some of their secrets.
Mr. Molimi,
Right?
say, Mr. Molimi. I don't know if you can hear me. Mr. Molimi.
Hey, yeah, I'll get yes. I hear you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just requested Mr. Molimi to disconnect the headset so then we can be able to hear him clearly, because I think the sound was a bit bad and we could not get the message across. So let's just be patient with him as he tried to find a better angle where he could be connected to us, because I think each and every detail is very crucial to us, especially most us as SMEs who are still finding it difficult to stay operational now, and also to convert the present time we have to build a cash flow that will be able to cover all our commitments. So, Ndata Mlimi, are you now okay? Oh, network, please don't do this to us. Oh my goodness. All right. We became aware of the sound and then we brought it to our guest attention. Can we just be patiently with him as he try to find another angle where he can connect with us thoroughly? Like I was saying, it's very crucial to us to get each and every detail that is going to share with us today, uh, as we continue to scan and investigate possible ways of how to stay afloat during this lockdown, especially as SME is. I think it's very crucial to understand the relationship between the cash flow and how we spend our time, as to whatever that consumes our time, we need to be able to invoice it. And what habits that leads us to developing such a culture where we look at our every second, how do we convert it to become an invoice? So I think he went out in continuance of trying to find a better angle to connect with us. Uh, while we waiting for him, while we waiting for Mr. Molimi, I'm going to humbly request for us to be patient with him as we try to find a possible angle of how he can be able to connect with us, because I believe it's very crucial what he's going to be sharing with us. Just a second, can I just try to reach out to him so then we look for a better solution? Because I think the headset, they were the one that were affecting connectivity. Right. we back. I think, I'm sorry, we were struggling to hear you a bit because of network. I think you can continue, sir.
All right, can you hear me now? Just want to make sure we're all good.
Yes, we are good. We are good now. We're good.
All right. So do you want me to pick up? You want me to pick up from where I left from?
They say you can start from scratch.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna do this.
No, you can just speak, sir. It's fine.
Can you just give me a second? Just give me a second.
All right.
I just want us that when we start, we don't stop anymore. Just stop.
All right.
I think I know what the problem is. Just give me a second.
Okay, sir. So are you able to hear us now? Please just indicate if you're struggling to hear us, so then we can try to assign someone to assist you. All right, glad we could help So glad. Ladies and gentlemen, with much respect, please, we humbly request you to be patient with us. We really, really humbly request you to be patient with us.
What's going on?
time. Speak to us. You have the time.
Yeah, my goodness. Technology, guys. Technology. Agadi tlwaela ntho tse. Ke a itse ke bua le lona batho ba shebileng le rata tšhelete ake. You guys get the money and then you tell people to go and do these things. Once again, yeah, apologies, man. Yeah, first and foremost, once again, Mr. T, thank you so much. I think what you and your institute are doing it's amazing. You've opened up a platform during a time of crisis, during a time of change, during a time of confusion, and much needed so. So to you and your team, you've been professional, and I appreciate that. So big ups to you and your team. So yeah, to those who don't know who I am, I'll quickly introduce myself. I am Sibusiso Joshua Molimi. Mr. T referred me as Mr. 5C. I'd like to say I'm cool, calm, collected, conquering, and centered. Yeah. And I'm an author of a book called Work Through the Barriers to Success. I'm a keynote speaker on mind and money wellness, public speaking trainer, and most importantly, a child of God, a mover and shaker. So he got in touch with me and he said, would you like to speak about money? Chelete, Zaga. What a time to be speaking about money. During COVID-19, businesses are in a crisis. The country's in a crisis. Personally, we're in a crisis. We're going through change. Businesses are going through change. And when we speak about the topic of money, I think many businesses, many individuals are asking themselves this crucial question. What if I had managed my cash flow better? Would I be as stressed as I am now? That's the question that I've been asking myself. And during this process, I'm going to be honest with you. I am going to be authentic with you. I'm going to share with you my journey. I'm going to tell it as it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm going to tell you the real story. Share with you my financial journey, firstly. Secondly, I'll share with you my new perspective, my new philosophy. And thirdly, I'll share with you my millionaire friend secret. So I've got a couple of friends who are millionaires. Don't look at me like I'm not there yet. But even if I was there, I wouldn't tell you. I just keep it underground. But there are a couple of secrets. So I spend time with my millionaire friends. They're millionaires in assets. They're millionaires in cash. And there are certain things that they do that makes them millionaires, which other people who are not millionaires don't do. So there are certain habits that they have that makes them become millionaires. And I want to share those habits with you because for many of us, we have a dream of wanting to become a millionaire or a multimillionaire in cash or in assets, whatever it is to you. But there are certain habits that we don't have. There's certain information that we don't have. There's information that we need and there's habits that we need that millionaires have that separate them from other people. So I'll share with you those. So I've been thinking, Mr. T, and thinking, had I managed my cash flow better, would I be as, I wouldn't say stressed. Nah, stressed is the right word. Yeah, I guess stress. I'll check out bank account, I'll check out the supplier, I'll check out the operation expense, and I don't know, maybe some of you are listening and you're watching and you're like me. I had a nice December. And my December was too nice. Yeah, it was too nice. The business had done well and there was money in the bank account. And one of the things that I decided to do, I just decided to go and spoil myself and have fun. And it's one of the mistakes that I've seen many young entrepreneurs make is you never separate business from personal. Because you are the only one in the business and you're running the business and you're making money, you think that that money belongs to you. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the business and the business pays you a salary. I hope you get that as a young entrepreneur. And this is a mistake that I made for many years because how your business, yeah, me, it's under my name. I'm the one that's working. I'm the one that's making the money, therefore it's my money. No, it's not your money. The money belongs to the business, and the business pays you a salary. So it's a mistake that I made, where I started to use business money for personal use. As I was reflecting on my business, and I know I relate a lot with young entrepreneurs, SMMEs, the business that I built the business to fund my lifestyle, not to create jobs for millions of people or to reinvest back into the business. And I think it's a mistake that many young entrepreneurs are making. You are building a business, it's making you money, and you're building that business to fund your lifestyle. We back? And so I needed to stop and go, you know what? I can't build a business to fund my lifestyle. I have to build a business for my family. So automatically, that shift in what I'm building the business for, that shift will change the way that I use money. Because the way that I use money then was for me. But the way that I'll use money going forward will be for my family, because that's what I'm building the business for. So yeah, I started running my business when I was 18, 19 years old. And the business was making money, and I had clients, and I was speaking all over the country. And one of the mistakes that I made is I never had a plan for the money when the money came in. I never reinvested the money back into the business so that the business could grow. But rather, if the business was growing, my lifestyle was growing. If your business is growing and your lifestyle is growing, in a matter of time, your cash outflow will be more than your cash inflow, and then you're in trouble. And I think that's where many SMMEs and young entrepreneurs are today. Our cash outflow is more than our cash inflow. So I made a lot of financial mistakes, taking money from the business, using it for my own personal use. You know what I mean? And so I stopped at the beginning of the year, and I thought to myself, I can't go on like this. And I've seen this with many young entrepreneurs. It's not that we don't make money, Mr. T, we do. But we don't know how to manage it. We don't have the mindset that says, how can I grow it? How can I multiply it? How can I make money work for me when I'm not working? Because if we trade time for money, then there's a limitation on how much we could make. So we need to look at ways on how do we make money work for us and delay the gratification. So when it comes to money, I'll share with you my philosophy and secrets. I think I want to get more into your questions. The millionaire mindset, my financial framework, right? My new financial perspective. What is perspective? Quickly, two young men, two twins, had a father, and their father was an alcoholic, and both of them saw their father become an alcoholic. So one twin was asked, what did you see? He says, I saw my father become an alcoholic, and I became an alcoholic. Oh, sorry about this. Right?
Okay.
So together. Yeah. So this young man saw his father become an alcoholic, and then he went on to become an alcoholic. The other young man saw his father become an alcoholic, and he never drank ever in his life. So the lesson behind that story is that we see the same thing, but we act differently because we've got a different perspective. We both see money, but the question is, why do we behave differently? It's because we have a different perspective. What money is to you is not necessarily what it is to me. And the way, whatever it is to you will dictate how you use it, right? So that was a perspective shift for me in terms of money, right? So I had to develop a new framework, a new mindset. And I created acronyms. The first one was P, purpose. right? So the acronym is PSGPA. P was purpose. Money without a purpose that is linked to your highest values and your core, it's going to corrupt you. So the P was use the purpose of money is to fulfill and to fuel my vision. Simply put, that's my thinking. The purpose of money is to fuel and to fulfill my vision. So whereas before, I used to spend money on partying, on alcohol, on nightclubs, on having a good time. I'm being honest, you know, that was for my lifestyle. Whereas now I go, but that's got nothing to do with my vision. So why am I spending money on it? So it could be that you're not so clear on what your vision is, and therefore you're just spending money recklessly. So use money for purpose. Whenever the money comes into your account, you go, what's the purpose of this money? What's the purpose of it? The purpose is to fuel and to fulfill the vision. And so I had to get that right in my mind, that now when I get money, I know what its purpose is. The second acronym is SEED. So it's S. For me, personally, money is a seed. Wherever you sow, you shall invest. Sorry, wherever you sow, you shall reap. So if you sow in consumables, rather than sowing, right, in creating, if you sow in indulging more than you sow in investing, poverty is on its way. Where are you sowing? Where are you sowing? I was watching Dr. John DeMartini today speaking about sowing in assets. Sowing things that will make sure that money works for you. So as a young entrepreneur or a SMME, when that money comes into your account, you should be thinking to yourself, where can I sow this money? Where can I invest this money so that it works for me when I'm not working? So it's that growth mindset. It's the growth mindset. Where are you sowing your money? I sowed my money in consumables. Consumables, instant gratification, good time, right? I sowed my money in indulging. And now I'm in trouble. Well, I was in trouble. Now I'm on my way up, you know? I'm getting there. So where are you sowing your money? Stop and authentically ask yourself that question. Where am I sowing? Wherever you sow, you shall reap. Sow in assets. Sow in assets. So it's P, it's S, it's G. The G for me is, this is my personal philosophy, my personal framework, that money to me is God's resource. Now, why do I say that? Because I didn't come into the world with money. And even when I leave and go to heaven, I'm not going to take the money with me. It's a resource that I found on this earth, and it belongs to the Creator, who is God. So this is my thinking. This is my thinking. This is my thinking. You've got to make sure you create a philosophy that works for you. You know, you may not be born again, have a relationship with God or with Jesus, but it's my thinking. I'm sharing with you my framework. Design something that's going to work for you and get you to behave in a way that gets you closer to your goals. So G is God's resource. I remember the late Dr. Miles Monroe saying, God will not give you what you ask for, but God will give you what you can manage. You are asking for 1 million, but you can't manage 10,000, because as soon as 10,000 goes, what do? You spend more than you save. You consume more than you create. You indulge more than you invest. Then you're going to go back and ask again. Just put yourself in the shoes of a father. We time. Your son is not asking you for a Porsche. But the uno le is splashy, the uno le ngolile, the uno le driving recklessly. Are you honestly going to give your son a Porsche? You're not. Because your son can't manage what he currently has. You get, and so the is to manage. A client gives you 10,000 Rand. What are you going to do with that 10,000? So for me, that's my mindset. And God said to me, manage, respect, and value what belongs to me, and I'll give you more. Respect and value what belongs to me, I'll give you more. But right now, you're not managing, you're not respecting. It comes in, it goes out, you spend on whatever you feel like spending. You're just reckless, you're reckless. Right? So that's God's resource. PSG. Let me get to the P, the other P, which is Proverbs 10, verse 22. It says that a wise man leaves inheritance for his children's children.
Yes.
And so I sat down and I thought to myself, what am I leaving for my children? Children. I don't have any yet, but I'm planning in advance. I would love to have a family. Do I have a will in place? Are my children going to have to start from scratch when I could have laid the foundation for them? So the decisions that I'm making are not for me. They're for my children's children. It's generational. I've got to create products. I've got to invest in assets that even when I'm not here, my children's children will still benefit. That's my mindset. That's my mindset. When I've got money, that's how I'm thinking. So I can't be spending money recklessly. But who are on the ones that I even have now? You know what? So it's also, I'm thinking about it now to say, this is for your kids, bro. This is for your kids. So your kids aren't going to eat likes on Facebook. Your kids aren't going to eat your fame. You've got to make money, Joe. When it comes to to making money, you must mean real business. This is for your kid's kid. You know what I mean? And this thing of, this, what? No, bro. This is for the family. This is for generation. And last one, accountability.
Accountability.
Yes, there's a gentleman that you interviewed. He's a friend, he's a brother, he's a mentor, an exceptional young man whom I love and respect. Mr. Get Things Done, Bulelan. And, you know, a lot of time with him. I learn a lot from him in all aspects of life. And I remember we were having a conversation and he said to me, you know, Sbu, we work too hard for money to just leave our accounts, just like that. Like you have to be accountable for every single cent in your account. You know, when money's there, you just spend, you spend there, you spend there. And he questions every single item on that bank statement. And I'm like, why do you do that? But come on, just relax, bro. Man, it's just the 50 rand. He's like, no, you have to be accountable for every single transaction. So that's my mindset. I have to be accountable for every single item that I purchase, every single transaction that goes on in my bank. I have to be accountable for it. Right? And the last, so we've got ESGPA. It's just how I think. It's easy for me to remember, and I hope it will be easy for you to remember, right? PSGPA. And the last one that I added was cash is king, man. When you got cash, cash is king. Cash is king. Cash is king. You can get better discount rates when you've got cash. King. King. You know? So that for me, Mr. T, and for all the viewers, it's my financial perspective. It's my financial framework. It's my financial mindset. It's how I think, right? And the way that I think, obviously, the way that I use money. When money comes into my, I always go with the framework. It is the framework, it is the perspective, it is the philosophy that's going to dictate the money and how I use it. And Mr. T, I think I must make this, I'm 27. I'm young. This is all to the other young entrepreneurs who had money and lost money and had money and lost money and are trying to make money. It's never too late to start again. Let me tell you one of my secrets. The reason why I'm able to bounce back, the reason why I'm able to bounce back and bounce back and bounce back and bounce back is because the laws and the principles of financial freedom and success never change. They never change. They always remain the same. That's why you have loses $1 million, will come back and then make another $1 million, because they've learned the laws, they've learned the principles, right? And maybe their habits were not there, so they just know they have to tweak their habits, but they bounce back again because they understand the laws. So you may be watching, but how do I make money? How do I bounce back again? I'm in the position that you are in. Right now, I haven't hit my financial goals, right? But I'll get there. I'll bounce back again. COVID-19 or no COVID-19, I'll bounce back again. I'll bounce back again because I understand the laws. So I'm saying to a young person who's watching this, whoever's watching this, study the laws, study the principles, and study the habits. If you study the laws, principles, and the habits, you're on your. That's it.
Wow.
That's because even the young Kwamashu has been able to bounce back, make millions because they studied the laws. And so another thing that comes to mind, Mr. T, is as a young entrepreneur, I don't like this young entrepreneur, old entrepreneur. Hey, man, in business. I'm a small business, big business, I'm a medium business, big in business. Hey, just say business. Is that when we meet people who inspire us, who have the money that we would love to have, who live a certain way, one of the questions we should be asking them, and this is the question that I ask them, look, I see your money and that's great, I'm inspired by that, but there's two things I want to know. I want to know your habits, ask them about their habits. There's 3 habits that have gotten them to where they are, and 3 habits which they've seen from other millionaire friends in their circle. That's the first one, habit. And 2, what are the books that they're reading? And the last, this is a bonus. I'm giving away a bonus. Find out who their mentors are, and then go as far as learning from their mentors. So you go beyond who knows and go to your mentor's mentor. Because your mentor's mentor is further than your mentor now. You get, so if you want to go further, get the mentor's mentor. Let me get to my millionaire friends. Hey, my friends who have, my friends who have got they've got a couple of millions. Let me tell you, Mr. T, but these guys, they're stingy, man. I'm stingy. It's about stingy, but we say that but stingy. And stingy, but they're other ones because they respect money, they value money, regardless of how much money it may be. You know, and I've seen this, what's one, like 500, it's just 500, and they're like, 500 rand is a lot of money, right? So one of the secrets from my millionaires friends is that, once again, they are accountable for every single cent on their balance sheet, their income statement, their bank statement. So it's one of the things that I'm doing now. I go to the bank because sometimes I get how like card do I swipe off then. When I was swipe off, swipe off. I'm gonna get the bank charge. I'm gonna swipe it for that. I'm gonna swipe for that, and you go, no, but this is too much. This is too much. I'm spending way too much on this. So you take your bank statement and you highlight and you go through every single item. And then you go, but you know what? Especially when it comes to like the takeaway, or the family, or the petrol, you're just swiping and money's just leaving your account, right? And you're not accounting for that money. So that's one of the secrets. They are accountable and do account for every single item on their balance sheet. Every single item on their balance sheet, they account for it. And then we say, Bonaba stinge, because money doesn't just leave their account. They work too hard for money to just leave. You know? And the second secret is they invest in assets. If it's an asset and it can't bring them more money, it's very rare that they'll invest in it. They'll rather wait. Or they'll invest in learning to find out more on how they can make money. So they will go through courses. I mean, one of my mentors going through some course, like that course is like 15,000 or what. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, but 15,000 is a lot of money. My view is, if you want to be financially free and you want to make a lot of money, you have to value learning. You have to invest in learning. You have to invest in learning. You have to invest in learning. Like learning about wealth. So let me quickly share with you a story, Mr. T, and then we can close it. One of my financial mentors is a guy by the name of Dr. John DeMartini. Specialist, he's been teaching for the last 40 years. And, you know, he was speaking about wealth. So I'm listening to him speaking about money, COVID-19, people are in a crisis, people want to make money, cash flow, what, all of this. And he said, you know, people who are wealthy are intentional about being number one. People who are wealthy have made wealth building a high value. So each and every single day, they spend time, they spend money, they spend their resources in learning on how to make money. They look at information because, you know, Mr. T, this is so critical. You have people saying, yeah, when I grow up, I want to be a millionaire. So what do you do during the day? No, plomile, sheba TV, yeah, then kanahana. You look at your activities throughout the day, and none of them have got anything to do with learning on how to make money.
Yes.
So what he says, it's a fantasy. You want to be a millionaire, but you hardly spend time investing in wealth building. It's a fantasy. It's not going to happen. It's not. Each and every single day, invest in yourself, read books, listen to material, right? And you know, Mr. T said something so powerful around how do I make sure that I get wealth building up on my highest value? So one of the ways to do that is to stack up so many benefits of that thing that you want to do that it pushes you closer to doing it. Like someone tell you, and then I say to them, or someone who doesn't like gymming, like in 12 gym, I always are healthy, about you, it's a story about my body, but they don't know what wealth is, right? Just like people know how important wealth is. So how do you get them to value it? How do you get them to make it a priority? You stack up as many benefits of doing that thing as possible, that it outweighs everything else you could be doing. Think about your family. Think about generation. Think about your dreams. Think about your goals. Stack up those benefits of wealth building.
Wow.
Make it a high value.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi. A lot that you have said. Philosophies, they breed principles. Principles have the nature of creating a practice. So from what the philosophies that you just shared with us, the economical destiny of those who follow your clan, it's very safe. It's very safe, I can assure you, sir. The first question, if we are not committed to sound financial management, we'll surely suffer from financial embarrassment. What I do in my business it's a reflection of what I do in my personal space.
Sure.
What is the relationship, or how crucial is it to know the variation between the 1 rand value I make per second versus what I do in my spending per second?
Now you're asking me some academic. I've just got a BCom. I'm not an accountant. You
No.
must. I'm not
All right. Okay. I'm not asking from the. That don't believe me.
Yes, I'm with you.
Say, you spoke about millions, because this is where I'm coming from. A lot of us, we able to speak about the amounts that we're doing in a month, but we fail to break it down to seconds and hours. Now, the relationship between now, as a business that is suffering from cash flow, my activities, my time, and the conversion of it builds a cash flow. So how crucial is it for me to be able to be what tšhelete ke etsang ka second versus spending saka per second? Eba reflection is I'm building wealth, you know?
Yeah. All right. So there's a principle. I think it's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
I'll touch on that principle just now. As young entrepreneurs, business owners, time is money, man. Time is money, because we all have 24 hours.
Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, say. We can't hear you. That Molimi, we can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Still can't hear you. We're getting sabotaged here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yo, we can't really hear you, say. I wonder what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting sabotaged right here. I don't know what's happening today. We seem to be struggling. I'm sorry. Can you just be patiently be with us as we try to resolve the matter?
Speaking about activity and economic return.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was at a point where I was busy, but I was not productive. At a point where I was busy, but I was not making money. And I understand, right? There are different stages. There's stage where you still in the beginning, you're pushing, you're pretty much doing everything. And so at times, entrepreneurs get frustrated because they're not seeing the economic value, or rather the money in their bank account based on the activities that they're doing. So here's my thinking, and here's my philosophy, is that if I don't like to do it, and it takes up a lot of my time, and I procrastinate on it, and I'm not committed in it, and I'm not disciplined in it, I delegate it and I focus on what I love. And then someone will say, yeah, I don't have money to delegate these activities. And like, I'm not there yet. I'm just a young startup. I've just started this business. All right, cool. But let your thinking be of, I'm building long term. I'm building in such a way that I want to focus on what I excel in and what I love doing and what I'm inspired from within to do, and delegate what I procrastinate in, what I'm not focused in, and what I'm not committed in. It's to your point around activity, what you do, right? With the 10 minutes, with 1 hour, what you do with the 3 hours, etc. You have entrepreneurs that
yes, sir. Yes. Oh, we can't hear you again. Jesus Christ. We can't hear you again. Jesus Christ. That we would know. Satan doesn't want them to be millionaires.
Satan is a liar. I'm back. This is,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. I was just speaking lastly about the principle, and then we'll take the questions because of time. The 80-20 principle. And personally for me, so I run a services business. I do public speaking training. I do MCing. I do motivational speaking. I've got my book. These are many services, right? And at that time, and at this time rather, I'm alone. And sometimes you never get the results that you want because your focus is scattered, firstly, different services, you know? So you'll never really get top results because your focus is scattered. And I learned about this 20 principle that said, what did that principle say? Look at 20% of your activities that give you 80% of your returns. And focus those 20% activities. Because I think at times you want to do so many things, but those many things altogether give you a 10% return. And then the one that gives 90% return. So to what you're speaking about, that which activities, which services, which products are giving you that high return. That, and once you have the systems and the principles in place, then you can start to diversify.
You spoke about the S for the seed.
Yes.
You spoke about S for the seed. And there is a recent personal discovery that I just realized, that most of the time we cannot put to life, or we cannot bring to life big dreams because of the level of our faith, you know. So the level of our faith determines the level of the dream experience we have. So now, in investing in areas that you know that you faith in them while you are at your zero moment, how crucial is it to know the cost of the right knowledge for your growth?
To know the cost of the right knowledge.
Yes, sir.
It's crucial, you know. To get the prize, you have to pay the price. Bigger the price, the bigger the cost.
Amen.
And cost in the form of sacrifices as well, because the price that you have to pay. So you have to look at what you got to leave behind, what you got to let go in order for you to acquire the knowledge, in order for you to make the dream become a reality, the financial dream. So the question then becomes, what is it that you're willing to leave behind? What is it that you're willing to sacrifice? What is it that is stopping you from moving to your next level of growth? What are some of the things that you could sacrifice or sell, which could give you cash, which you could use to get a book that could change your life and your bank statement?
Oh, yeah.
So what are the sacrifices that you need to make? And it's just, look, Mr. T, for me, I had to sit down and say, you just need to be honest with yourself. Honest with yourself, you know, it's the smaller yana sacrifice. And here's the powerful thing about letting go of certain things. When you let go, like I'm looking at my hand like this, when I let go, right? I let go, I open up space to receive something else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So there are certain things that we want to receive in our life, but we're not willing to let go. There's no space. So what do you oh, I think, you know, Mr. T, sessions like this are powerful, but they become life-changing when you as a viewer go back and you internalize what you've heard. But most importantly, ask yourself those key questions. I had to sit down and say, you want to become a millionaire? Okay, show me who you're spending time with, Sibu. When last did you read a book or invest in yourself? You know, millionaires is about being a behavior. So, I mean, your behavior, there's no alignment. You're spending more than you say. You're indulging more than you're consuming more than you're creating. Like, get your act together. And there are certain lessons, Mr. T, that you will only learn once you go through what you need to go through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You need to go through yourself. And this lesson, this powerful nugget came to mind when I was sitting down and saying, yeah, but I was 19 and 20 and I was listening to people talk about wealth, but I'm not there. At times you need to go through what you need to go through in order to get the lesson. It will never hit home. It will never hit home until you can speak as much as you want to speak, but there's certain experiences that you need to go through personally to make sure that
Oh. Hi. This needs a live session. Let me just go quickly to the question that my people will kill me that I don't read their questions. Right. Okay. Ntatenya Fani, he quoted, "We work too hard for money just to leave our accounts just like that." Wow, thank you, sir, for authentically inviting us into your space. We are learning a lot. A question from Ntatenya Fani: How do you diversify your business investments or portfolios while running a small startup company?
The best person to give that answer is financial investors and financial advisors, because they've got more knowledge on where you could diversify your money, the appetite of your risk, how much money you have. So my advice would be make an appointment. Make an appointment with a financial advisor. Make an appointment with someone who is in that field, who's an expert in that field, to give you knowledge on where to invest, what stocks to buy. I can't, because I'm not an expert in that particular field of where to diversify, whether to invest in property or not to. I don't have knowledge on that. So what I do is I find people who are experts at that, and I say, okay, what do I do now?
All right, sir.
Yeah, but important as well to open yourself up to learning more. So if there's a certain field which you've heard you could invest in, just go and do particular research in that, because even the people whom we see as experts don't have all the knowledge. So having a conversation with them, it's good to do your research before, that when you do meet them and have that conversation, you can ask them critical questions on where to how to diversify, on this business of yours. And don't tell them you run a small business. Just tell them you run an empire.
Thank you, sir.
But when you say
Thank
you know how people are. Oh, 500. But when you say an empire, they'll go, oh, okay, let's talk now. So that they tell them you run an empire.
All right, second question from Daniel Fani. Are there any books on money you could recommend for young entrepreneurs attending this summit?
There's a book called Managing Emotions by an amazing lady called Mavis Ureke. I don't know if I've pronounced the surname well. So it's Managing Emotions for Financial Freedom. Powerful book by Dr. It's Mavis, yeah. Mavis, the surname is Ureke. Ureke. For me, I love to listen to podcasts. I love to watch YouTube videos. So I've been learning a lot from Dr. John DeMartini on finances, just having that basic foundation on how to make more money, how to change your mindset, how to make sure that wealth is at the top of your highest values. It's one of your highest values. So that's a book that I would recommend. Yeah, look, there's also Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Hey, but me, I read 2 pages and then I didn't finish the book. Maybe that's why I didn't have those. But anyway, yes. There's a book. There's also a book by a guy called Gavin Makubela on finances. An amazing book as well. But check out Dr. John DeMartini. Check him out. 6 lessons from billionaires on how to build wealth. Powerful. Change your life.
And by the way, Mr. Gavin is one of our speakers on finance this week. I think on Thursday, on Wednesday, if not Friday. So this week we just about money. And that day, Fani say, I have learned a lesson of respecting and valuing money the hard way. I am so grateful this lesson as they are reinforcing. Thank you, Mr. Moneymaker. A powerful lesson indeed. All right.
Mr.
Okay.
T, must send me
yes, sir.
Of all the people who are here so I can send them an invoice. Me, I don't play. You think you take lessons?
All right, Mr. Jafani also say, I don't know well that Jafani I can hear you. Okay, he was hearing us. Mr. Klubi was saying he's giving priceless wisdom. All right, I'm gonna move down. That was when we struggled. Okay. Yo, this has been a mind-blowing session. The issue of accounting for every cent that leaves the bank account has really moved me, and I'm even more humbled by the notion of investing versus indulging and the 80-20 rule. Yo, thank you for the lesson. We have a background in finances, and we understand how they crucial. I'm gonna ask this on the dirty basket of my clients and people that I've sat with. How crucial is it to always have your finance as a source of decisions that you're making in business?
If there's no money, there's no business.
Thank you.
Cash flow is business. Don't look at the business. What happens if you don't look after the engine of your car? What happens to the car?
It does.
It's difficult for the car to move forward. So actually, that could be a perspective shift for entrepreneurs to say, look at your money as an engine of your car. Not out in the for people to see. It's within, but so powerful. Look after your engine. I never would tell a matey more than oil motor. Right? So you need to understand your engine. Understand the parts of the engine. So that when it starts giving you problems, you know what to do. It's crucial. It's a conversation that we need to have, and it's about taking it at a time as an entrepreneur, it's crucial. Cash is king. Cash is king. I've seen so many million friends who will say, Sbu, this thing was going for 500,000 Rand, but because I had cash, I could get it for 350. Because the person my mentor said to me, cash is king. You know, cash is king. And we need to have that long-term mindset, which I didn't have as I'm authentic with. I was just like, well, I'm working. Kiaka, it's getting into my account. I can use it. Who saw COVID-19 coming?
No one.
No one saw it coming. And you have entrepreneurs that have a mindset that says, yeah, I can get a client next week. Yeah, but you know, that client has promised work. So it's fine. We can use what we have now and then they'll pay us. And then what happens? COVID-19 and they don't pay. You know what I mean? And Mr. T, I think it's, once again, it's just being honest with yourself, you know, and being accountable. It's something that I'm thinking about now, where you have to have an accountability partner. I never want, the thing is, I don't want to show you my bank statement for my business, because I know you're going to, that I'm thinking on that, and then you don't put, and then, what better that business when that business kima wa swipe or go ki imwesa lang mo. But I've made a decision, and I know that this is going to change. My life is going to change, rather my financial trajectory, that I have to find a financial mentor who's going to be hard on me, whom I have to show my financials to. Because when you're who else financials? Whatever you want, however you want.
I'm going to print this subject. I know we've been running out of time. It's my last question. I continue to see the growth of a community that is used to spending, but we see a small margin, 3%.
Hello? Yeah, I think I'm the only one. I think Tapelo just left. Joseph, it looks like.
Hi, Ntatwag.
Yes.
I'm not sure what's happening.
You shifted.
I didn't shift. It's the network.
No, you got a bank notification, so you had to quickly go.
No. Look, I wanted us to go to the part that you're speaking about investment. You have R1, I have R1. You use your R1 to buy a stock suite. I use my R1 to buy 10 bubble gums. I sell those 10 bubble gums, they do me R2 each. I get R2. While you eat your R1, I have R2. How crucial is it to learn that, especially as a society of entrepreneurs?
It's crucial. It's crucial. So it's a mindset issue. You've got a growth mindset. How do I make this R1 double? That I can purchase that can make me more than what I initially had. That's creating instead of consuming. Right? What am I doing? I'm buying the stock suite and I am consuming. So I think as entrepreneurs, the mindset should be, how do I make what I have grow? It's a growth mindset. It's a growth mindset. How do I make sure that what I have grows and multiplies? And also, how does it, I think this is another question on another level. How can the money work for me and not me necessarily waiting for the money?
We continue to see white people using the bank money while our people are sitting and they're just complaining, saying the bank is ripping them off because we don't know the right principles. You know, I remember, so one of my mentors, especially in finances, he kept on insisting that Tapelo, put money in the bank. Put money in the bank. Put money in the bank. I was like, no money, shelete. But look, when COVID-19 came, I had the pride of going to the bank and saying, look, I have a good credit profile with you. I qualify for X and Z and 8 to keep me afloat. So I think principles, they build creditors' favor in advance. So then during critical time, those people, they finance your operations because of the systems that you paid attention to. You know?
True. Another thing that we could do, Mr. T, is I have a rand, you have R1.
Yes, sir.
I don't necessarily know what to do with the R1. How about you take your R1, I take my R1, we make it R2, we put our heads together, and instead of buying 10 bubble gums, we buy 20.
Amen.
Then we can go split on the profit. Then what we do is, since we are doing what other people love, because we become strategic and we become growth and people see us, we'll say we'll teach these other ones which are buying from us how to do what we're doing.
Sure.
Then they can go out and make money. So we are making money for them, but we're not there.
Oh.
So we are at different stages of our businesses. We're not all at the same stage in terms of the money that we have in our account. Some of us are heavily indebted. But it's important to have that foundation, to have those principles in place, because the money is going to come. But can you manage it? Can you respect it? Can you value it? Can you double it? Can you multiply it? And the reason why I say that is because, Mr. T, you will share such information and someone will say, yeah, but moto I tsebo ke a kolota. I don't just now. I can le tšhelete ko account ka ke setse ka R2 ke kolota mang. But you are preparing them. For many of us, it's a season of preparation because COVID-19 is going to come to an end in Jesus' name. It's going to come.
Amen.
And
Amen.
when it comes to an end, business is going to be back up. There's going to be so many opportunities. So you need to be preparing right now to say, when this thing comes to an end, people are gonna be, I'm telling you, there's no December, there's no relaxing. It's gonna be this like hectic. So let's use this time to prepare. I don't have R1 million yet in my account, but I will get there. I just need to know what millionaires are doing. We just need to always preparing, Mr. T. This is not for millionaires or select, even the young people that you work with. I mean, I did it too. I spend minimum 4 hours investing in myself daily. 4 hours. Through watching videos on wealth building, through spending time listening to my inner voice, listening to my heart, because there's so much power when we listen to the intuition, the inner voice. Some call it the Holy Spirit. Waking up in the morning, going over my core, my dreams, my goals. It starts with you. It starts with you. Get it right. Get the mindset right.
You remind me of a gentleman from Kenya by the name of Christopher Banda. He spent almost 8 years to 10 years. He could not wear a label jean, a shoe, and he had just an ordinary phone. When he sold his business, he sold one business and he became a billionaire.
One business.
One business. He invested in himself. So there's two things that we don't have to miss. You cannot afford not to learn and to earn. But the 4 hours that you spend qualifies your future to convert what you learn to earning. So then whatever that you earn, you manage it with what you learned. So if you allow yourself to be absent from the two, then there is no way we will go as a Black society, especially my peer brothers and sisters in the space. We continue to condone other people doing things because we don't understand the art of starting small,
Yes,
the art of starting small,
You've got to start small. So one of the things that I have, Mr. T, is it's a 52-week financial challenge. I don't know if you've seen that. So there's 52 in a year. And week number 1, you save 10 Rand. Week number 2, you save 20 Rand. Week number 3, you save 30 Rand, and so on and so forth. Right? Week 52, you'll save 520. If you stick to it, and you are faithful to it, and you're committed to it, at the end, you will have 13,780. So I'm on, and here's, Mr. T, we must also make it fun, man. We must make it fun. You know how?
Yes.
So I'm doing this with my dad, right? And my dad, let me tell you, Mr. T, my dad has my tin in his room because I tried this thing and I was like, neki roba tin ele ke ra ya wa beta no. And having to start again. But what I've done now is that I've taken it and I've given it to my dad. I can't touch it. I can't touch it. And there was a time when I had quite a bit of money and I put it into an endowment. I think it was an endowment policy or what, where I can't touch it for 5 years because I had to be honest with myself. At that time, I was young. I was spending it recklessly. And if I can easily access it, I can easily use it.
Sure. Sir, with so much respect to the attendees, I'm sorry that our time has cashed so much. Last question. This cannot be a once-off conversation, Mr. Molimi. I need to invite you to Winner's Conversation with you and have 2 hours. The word depreciation doesn't only exist in our books as accountants only, but it also is a practical term to other people. A wise man once told me that you will always shrink the value of everything to the value of your mind. Meaning that's why we have shows such as I Blew It All. because their mind was not ready for that kind of money. How crucial is it for us to continue seeking the right information and the right knowledge as we grow our returns as entrepreneurs? Then I'm closing.
It's crucial. I mean, you've said it. If you look at the word learn, it's got the word earn.
Mm.
And each and every single day, you've got to learn. You've got to invest in yourself. Your decisions, your financial decisions, are dictated by your perspective, and your perspective is dictated by your experience, your knowledge, etc. But when it comes to the mind, which is what you spoke about, remember, the mind, your thoughts are influenced by what you hear, what you see, what you consume, right? And so it's a question of your environment. What is around you? What are the conversations that you're having with people who are close to you? What is it that you are listening to on a daily basis? Because it dictates the thoughts that you have in your mind. So if you want to change your thoughts, you have to change what dictates the thoughts, which is what you hear, which is what you see. Do you get the point? So Mr. T, if we want to, one of the ways to change financial behavior and financial perspective is to work in the mind of the people. And before we get to that, let me just wrap it up. Before we even get to the money, start with the individual, their financial story. What's their financial relationship with money? How do they see money? Then let's even leave out the money. Let's leave out the money. We'll get to the money. How do you see yourself? What do you think of yourself? You have people saying, yeah, I would like to become a millionaire one day, but you don't think that you deserve it. You don't think that you're worth it. You just see yourself as just, I get twanela le baba ngi, awu twanela uta thola e thola nke baba ngi.
Yo, Mr. Molimi, I would love to know what can I get from you as a money wealth coach? What services do you offer, and how do I follow your work? How do I get in contact with you if I need your services?
Yeah, so I do keynotes on money wellness and mind wellness. I also do one-on-ones. And there's, I take you through a 3-module course where firstly, I'll start with your mind. Secondly, we'll look at just getting your finances in order. And then thirdly, we'll look at your financial goals. So it's a lot of one-on-one consultations that I can do, just to help you on this financial journey, and just to also be our accountability partner. I think it's important to have someone who you're not necessarily so close with in terms of friendship, but who wants to see the best in you and who can be hard on you when you're slacking. We need that. Because but yet every single time you continue to stuff up. I provide that service of one-on-one mentorship on your financial journey, helping you make wealth building a high value. Because if you can do that, you are bound to get up in the morning and go for it and learn and love it. You cannot be financially free if wealth building is not a high value on your list. You can't. It's impossible. Impossible. No. If people can get hold of me on, I'll just leave my number, which is 0720664925. There's a book of mine called Work Through the Barriers to Success, where I help people overcome certain barriers like a lack of vision, the enemy within. So that book is available as well. I can share information with them. And I've decided to just take a bit of a break from social media. So that's why I've given away my contact details so they can contact me directly, and then we'll take it from there.
All right. So on behalf of New Minds, on behalf of Mind Think Institute and the attendees,
You like money. Now this you might must also get a royalty.
I just want to thank you very much. I want to thank you very much for coming and having conversation with us. I know this is the beginning of our relationship on working together. We would love to host you in Free State once everything cools down, so then possibly can have 5 hours conversation around money. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not going to be possible if it wasn't because of your patience and also making a provision for additional time that you spend on the session. I just want to say thank you very much. And like I always say, my name is Mutagun Tapelo, and remember, you are the best and the unbeatable element of success. Until we meet tomorrow, stay blessed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.